Hi guys, this is Sai Kumar Kurtivada. In this video, we will learn about React custom hooks. So what we'll learn in this video is, let me go into another slide and explain you what exactly we'll learn in this custom hooks. So what is a custom hook? Actually speaking, we have lot of number of hooks and we can create our own hook, and that is called as a custom hook. So hooks are generally functions which will receive some set of parameters and it invokes some logic and it will return you some data. So that is how the hook work. Even use state, use reducer, use ref, anything they have a separate function which will receive some set of parameters. It do some manipulations and then it returns you a value, and that value will be updated on the UI. So in the same way, we have something called as custom hooks. So in this video, we will try to create a custom hook that is search based hook. So I'll create a hook with the search spaces and it will be like reusable, and exactly how we can implement that I'll show in this video. So let me quickly jump into Visual Studio Code. And first thing is we need a file for creating a hook. So for that sake, what I'll do is I'll just go here and just create a folder called as hooks. And all hooks I'll be placing in this. For now, we are creating only one hook. So I'm using only one file in this. And the file name should have a prefix called as use. Always any hook, either you are using a custom hook or if you are trying to use any of the inbuilt hooks, you will be having a prefix called as use. And this is a search hook. So I'm using useSearch.js and it is a normal function. So let me create a function called as use search, and it has to receive some set of parameters. We'll see a bit later what are the parameters which we need to pass for this. And let me export this with a default export, and I want to export this use search. So this is the file which I have created. It is generally a normal function. Now what I want to do is I want to create some set of dummy data. Let me create const arr is equal to, I'm just creating some name and I'm keeping it as Sai, my name itself, and I'm using an ID called as one. It is very simple search I want to implement, but the search mechanism should not be restricted to a component. Instead, it should be very reusable. So let me use one more thing like Sai and Kumar, and it is having an ID of 2. Let me go with Sai Kumar, an ID of 3, and I'll go with something like one more object, and here I'll go with Kortivada, and this is ID 4. Let me copy this and put it over here. Let me put something like Sai Kumar Kortivada. Let me save this. Now I want to display this array normally. That means just I want to list it out. So how I can do that? By using array.map we can do that. So array.map of, and I want to render all the values. So what is the value? Let me return a paragraph, and the paragraph will receive one item each time, and I want to display that each item has a name, so I'm using only the name property. Let me use a key where I'm using item.id, and this is for looping purpose, and that is the reason I have added a property called as key. Until here we didn't use our hook at all. Now what I want to do is I want to perform some set of search mechanism on this particular list. So for that sake, what I'll do is I'll write some input. So let me use an input which I want to make it on the top. So input, and this input will be of type text. So I want to pass just a text, and I want to make use of on input, where I can use this on input for my event handler. So I want to emit some content. For emitting that content, what I'll do is I'll create one state. So let me use like const search term comma, and I want to use like set search term. So I want to track the searching mechanism of that field. So let me use a useState, and by default I'm giving empty. So whenever user types on this, I want to update this set search term with the event. So let me capture the event, and event will have the value event dot target dot value, and let me use a placeholder where the placeholder mentions you like search with name. Save this and let me format this. Now you have a input element where you can search, and you have an array looping where you can see the items. Let me go here and you can see something like this: Sai Kumar Kortivada, and Sai Kumar Kortivada, everything. Now the case is if I search something on here, it has to filter down and it has to show the result. So how we can achieve this? By using custom hooks. So what I'll do is I'll create a hook which will receive a search term, that is not something like a term whatever we are typing on the input field, and I want to get an array that is the initial array where I want to filter on top of this. And also I need something like search key, on which key I have to search, whether it is a name, ID, or any other properties. So I need these three parameters from the parent component. So what I will do is I will iterate this and I will make use of all these values to update my data. So I'll create one result set. So this is my result. That means the filtered data, and this will have a set result value, and it is having a use state, and the state is always an empty one by default. Or by default you can give initial array. First time it should have the initial array. If it does not have initial array, then pick the empty values. And what I want to do, I want to filter the data. When the filtering should happen, the filtering should happen in two cases. One is when the term is updated or when the search key is updated. So when we want to know some props are updated or states are updated, we can use useEffect. So what I'll do is I'll use useEffect on depending on two values. That two values are something like search key and term, whatever the term we want. So these two are my dependencies. Let me wrap in an array format. So now whenever the term or the search key updates, it will come here. So whenever it comes here, we have to perform the filtering option. But whenever we want to perform that, we need the search key as mandatorily, and we need a term. So I'm just making a condition. If search key exists and the term exists, then I have to filter the data. So let me write a filter data method. So let me create a new method called as const filter data, and it has to filter the result. And once the result is available, it has to return the data. If the search key or the term is not available, then we have to return all the previous data. So what I'll do, set result of, I'll pass all my initial array. So initial array. So let me save this. Now whenever the search key or the term updates, it will try to filter. If both are not there or if any one is not there, it will just return your initial array. So now what I'll do, I'll just go here and I'll just filter this off. So const data is equal to, I can use something like the array. What is my array? The array should be filtered based on my initial array. So initial array dot filter, as it is an array, we can use filter mechanism. On this, I'll be getting an object where my object will have this search key, that is the key of your property which you want to make a search, and I want to make an null check. On top of the null check, I want to convert this into two lowercase. So I'm just converting this into two lowercase, and then I'm checking whether this term includes, whether my each and every name property includes this particular term whatever we are sending. So that is nothing but term dot, again we will be doing a null check for a safer check. So two lowercase and save this. So now what I'm doing is I'm doing a two lowercase check. Let me remove the two lowercase check first, and I'll show you what's the problem if we are not using the two lowercase check. So let me save this, and now you got the data. This data is the filtered data, and hence we can put in the result set result of dot 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 data. I'm just using a spread operator to create a new instance and update that set result. And now I will return some values, and the return values, what this app.js requires is only the filter data. So filter data will be available in the result. So I can either pass the result directly, but the key and the value will be saved. So for what I'll do is I'll create my own filtered ARR, which is of result, and save this. Now it is returned by our search mechanism. And now this search will be coming back to your application where you are calling this. So my search term, the state is ready over here, and my array is also ready over here. So all after that, I'm trying to call a particular custom hook. So what I'll do is I'll use const, and it will return something. Let's talk about that later. Use search, and use search will be imported from the hooks folder. So it has been imported, and we gave the default export. So that's the reason we can give any of the name. And here what I want to pass for this. So let's see what are the values it needs. So first thing is term. The term updation term is happening with the search term. So I will update the search term, and the initial array will be ARR, whatever the data we are getting, and the search key is name, which we can hard code. So why I'm giving name means I want to search on the basis of name. So let me close this, and now you will be getting a filtered array. Instead of using this initial array, I want to show only the filtered array. So let me put this filtered array. If my filtered array exists, and if my filtered dot length exists, then I have to show this filtered array by looping. Else, if it is not the case, I want to show a paragraph where I want to show something like no records found and save this. Now let me format. For the first time, the filtered array will be equivalent to the initial array, and whenever we are trying to search, you will be getting a latest array, and that latest array will be used over here. Let me go here and let me go here and search SAI. You have SAI inside this, but it doesn't have SAI. But we are still able to see that Kurtiwada. So let me remove this again, and you can see the Sai and the Kumar should not be visible. Let me type only Kumar, and you are able to see Kurtiwada again. So why this is happening? Let's see that. So let me remove this, and you can see there are three Kurtiwadas. So problem is here with the ID. So I already explained you whenever you are using a map or an array looping, so your ID or the key whatever you are giving, that should be perfect. So here it is a duplicate key. That's why this Sai Kumar is mapping to this one as well, and the search is not working as expected. So that is the importance of a key whenever you are using in your React. So key should always be unique. Let me go with 4 this one and 5 this one and save this. Now go here. It works however we require. So let me type Sai, and you can see only the term wherever it includes Sai. But the problem here is if I give S as capital, you are seeing no records found because it is case sensitive now. So if you don't want to use a case sensitive, then what you can do is you can just add the lowercase. That is the importance of lowercase. So let me convert to lowercase. That means the value whatever I am getting from the array I am converting into lowercase, and in the same way whatever I am typing I am trying to convert into lowercase. But whenever you see on the UI, it will not convert your input field value. So let me go here and refresh this. Now let me type Sai in small letter, and you can see the data S as capital SAI. It's a combination of capital with small letters. Even though you are able to see the search criteria, let me type Kumar. You are seeing both of them. Let me type Kurtiwada, and you are seeing whole one name, that is Sai Kumar Kurtiwada. Let me give a space and no records found because you are having a space problem. So whenever you don't want to consider the space, you can just use a method called as trim. So whenever you want to compare with the trim, what this trim will do is it will remove the spaces from last and first, so that you will not have any problem with the spaces and you can see the output exactly. Let me refresh again. Let me give Sai, and let me give Kumar, and let me give Kurtiwada, and you can see the output. When I give the spaces also, you are able to see the output because we have trimmed the complete string whatever we are giving an input. But if you give some space in the middle, that will not work because you are giving an extra space in the middle of this string, so it always search for the exact string. So that is how you can use your custom hooks in our React application. So this is where we can use our hooks and the custom hooks, and this can be reused. And what is the advantage of using the custom hook now? The thing is, if you want to change this name property, you can change it. It is very simple. So now what I'll do is, instead of name, I'll use something like first name. So now my label has been changed, my property got changed. So in that case, no need to change anything in your logic. Instead, just pass that as a parameter. So this has changed. So don't search on the name property. Instead, you search on the first name property. Let me go here, just refresh. Now you can't see any values. Let me save this again, and let me refresh. Okay. So why? Because we are not able to see here because we are using a name property that doesn't exist. Now the same output. Let me type, and you are able to see the same output. So this is how you can reuse the same search logic with different number of parameters which you can pass. So that is how it is very useful whenever you have a reusable content and you feel like it will be reusable in the future. Then such type of logics or such type of business logics, we can make use of custom hooks. So you have to place all that business logic in the custom hook, and here you have to remember it always performs a logic, not the UI operation. If you see this hook, it is not doing any of the UI operations here. It is only filtering and returning some set of data. So the same thing with any of the hooks like useState, it will do some set of operation. useEffect, it do some set of operation. All this will do some set of logics in the background and it will return the data. So now this is how we can make our application very simple by using different types of strategies of React. And that is how we can use our custom hooks in React. That's it for this video. Hope you like my explanation. If you like my video, like, share, subscribe to my channel for more updates. Signing off. Thank you.